What's going on, everybody? TJ here from TJ's Take to break down the single game between the Denver Nuggets and the Portland Trailblazers tonight. It's the only game, so we have the big $100,000 prize. If you wish to do that, I knew there was a $4.44 tournament where you could win 3 grand, but it looks like that one filled up pretty quick. So they threw another one in there with 1,000 as the top prize. One thing I can get into that if you guys haven't noticed, those aren't really worth playing. So once the $3,000, I think that's worth it. 3,000 is good enough. But the one where the $1,000 the top prize, there's still about 2,000 people in it. And if you wait till even that fills up and this large tournament fills up, they'll throw out like more $9.99 contests and $4.44 contests usually. That are way smaller groups, and if you catch them in time, they have like decent size prizes too with way less people. So if you wait it out a little bit instead of entering those like large ones, the same thing goes with like you're not doing so hot at the start of the game, you want to play the second half. If you wait till like those big ones fill up, and then the very end they'll throw some more in there, and that can kind of save you if you're not doing so hot during the night. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But anyways, we have these frustrating Nuggets again, taking on the Blazers. We saw what happened last time. Jokic still doing his thing. Lillard still doing his thing. McCollum got into some foul trouble. Jamal Murray actually played well. And Cantor came out and he actually played, I thought, from last game, seeing his shoulder just hanging like that and him holding on to it. You saw him with the dunk early, but that's really pretty much the only thing that bugged him that whole game was him dunking the ball. So he's back. He played well. Millsap is back in this matchup. He doesn't have to deal with all that Spurs size, so he seems like he's doing well. So our lineups are going to be, we're going to have to adjust tonight. And there's one other thing I want. Oh, that's right. Mason Plumlee. They jumped his price, which is frustrating because they just bumped it to 9. I was hoping they would either bump it to something like 10 or 10.5, or they would leave it down there. I don't like this 9,000 because I don't know where the ownership's going to go. I guess we'll kind of know once we start making our builds. But Torrey Craig is right above him. Could be an interesting play tonight at 9.5. Didn't do much last game, but a sneaky play that could win you that 100K if he has a sneaky 30-point game. But I'll bring that up when we jump into this. Let's start with some builds. I'm still going to take the approach of not putting Jokic up there every time, but for most, like probably 80% of my lineups. Just because all it takes is one game, he gets in foul trouble early, or it takes a game, or Damian Lillard, he's $1,500 cheaper. One of those Lillard games where he goes for 60, 65 FanDuel points, and then that can completely take Jokic out of things if there's another player who gets up there in points as well. But we'll go with a standard Jokic Lillard build to start off with, and then in this third spot is where we're going to get different. I want to plug Millsap in there, but I'm actually going to plug Plumlee in there just because I think he's going to get more playing time. You saw him in there at the end of last game, and he's just absolutely dominating against that second unit and even the first unit. When they drive to the lane, Plumlee does a great job of sliding down into that block and getting those putbacks, and they dish it off to him for easy dunks. He's just aggressive out there. He's a scrapper. He'll get plenty of rebounds, and he has the points upside as well. So I think he'll get more playing tonight. So I'm going to be a little different and plug him in the third spot and come back up and plug Millsap in a utility spot. And that only leaves us with $7,500. And another guy who I noticed last game was being a little more aggressive this series, and I think that's just because the coaches told him to be. They're going to need scoring in that second unit, and surprisingly, I thought it was going to be Seth Curry coming out, but Rodney Hood just looked aggressive with the ball. He was looking to score last game. He took a lot of shots, and I think he got upwards of 20 fantasy points. And a guy that I usually roster, and he was 3% owned that night, and I had him in maybe one lineup, and it didn't do me very good because I didn't have Jokic in the top spot. But Hood, another guy I love tonight. He's min price. If he has another good one tonight, you can expect him to jump to 7, 5, or 8 maybe next game. But tonight, for this build, we have Jokic, Lillard, Plumlee, Millsap, and Hood, and that leaves us $1,500 remaining salary. Love this build. Again, you can switch Millsap and Plumlee, but that could be, will be chalkier. And having Plumlee in that third spot is something I'm going to try and take advantage of tonight. Let's go to a build without Jokic. Again, foul trouble, and let's make this build where the game is just kind of going the Blazers' way. So we're going to put Lillard in that top spot. And there are some games where you can play Lillard and McCollum together, especially with Nurkic not playing the rest of the season. They're both going to have to step up, but not something I usually do. So I'm going to stay away from that right now, and I'm going to go plug Cantor in that second spot just because of the game he had last time. And the only reason I'm doing that is just get a little bit different because I don't necessarily think he's going to get more points than Jamal Murray, but I definitely think he could. As I mentioned last time when these two teams were going up against each other, Murray can get a 9 or he can get a 40. He got a 40 last game. So let's see what he does tonight. I'm going to put him in that third spot and hope Cantor can have a better game than him tonight. That leaves us with $8,750 remaining salary. And this is going to be tough tonight because I feel like a lot of the builds last series where we needed a Will Barton or a Malik Beasley or a Torrey Craig, we don't necessarily need because we saw a lot of these like Malik Beasley's and Collins got good minutes. And I'm interested to know about, he's not even on here, but what's his name? It bugs me so much that some of these guys aren't on my laptop. Anyways, tall 7-footer, went to Illinois with Myers Leonard. I think he's in play. He was 1%, and he would have made a couple more shots. It would have done me well, but again, Rodney Hood ended up going off at min price, so that's why we're sticking with him tonight. But anyways, not too much down here. I'm going to plug in Malik Beasley. He had a good game. Again, he'll get you points on the offensive and defensive end. When you plug him in, that leaves us with 10.5 remaining salary. So something I like to do, I think the obvious thing is going up and getting Millsap, and I think you are different enough with that. But there are two other guys, maybe 3 other guys that you can go to with probably just as much upside, and it'll be more contrarian. And that would be Maurice Harkless. Bad game last game, so that means I'm going back to him here. He fouled out. Refs just were pissing me off last game. Gave him 3 bogus calls when I needed him, and he started to pick it up in the second half. He's a guy who can go get 40 as well, and he should be low on tonight given his price and his lack of production last game. So I'm going to go in and plug Plumlee in here, though, as the second guy I was thinking about. This will be a lower owned lineup just because we leave $1,500 remaining salary, and we don't have Jokic in there. So Lillard, Cantor, Murray, Beasley, and Plumlee. 5 guys. If Jokic doesn't go get at least 50, then this could be a lineup that could do it for you. Again, all it takes is one game. I think Jokic is going to have another good game, but all it takes is one, and you don't want to have him in every single lineup when that game comes. Let's do one more without him here with Lillard up top. Guys you can play up top tonight, Jokic, Lillard, McCollum, and then maybe take a chance on Paul Millsap. I kind of like that for these large tournaments. Even Enes Kanter. We saw last series the Blazers played Kanter. The first game of that series, he was the high scorer. He had 55 FanDuel points. So could happen against Jokic and Plumlee. Probably not, but could happen. Again, we'll plug Lillard up there in the top spot. And let's follow it with Millsap in the second spot. Let's see where that leaves us. That leaves us with 11,333 per player. So this is the spot where we need to get a little bit different. I'm going to plug Harkless in the third spot. Come back up. Put Murray in the fourth spot. And again, you can flip-flop those, Murray and Harkless. And then come back down and grab Plumlee. And again, in a tournament like this, Barton is the same price as Plumlee. You could easily take him, a scorer. Just hasn't been producing, hasn't been getting the minutes I thought he would in the playoffs. And that's another build that is going to be very contrarian depending on where you put the guys. These 5 guys, you can put them, Lillard obviously in the top spot, but the next 4 you can put in any of these spots. Plumlee in the second spot might be a stretch, but you can differentiate. So if these 5 guys end up being not the top 5, but if they get close to Jokic up there, and then they're the next 5, or Lillard's above Jokic, and then they're the next 4 below Jokic, that could be a stack that can win it for you. Let's go back and make a kind of Nuggets heavy lineup, because they are still at home. So let's go back to Jokic in that top spot, and then we need to fit it in some of these guys that we haven't played before or haven't played yet. So I'm going to go Jokic, Millsap in the second spot, and then the third spot, let's go get Gary Harris. Good game last game, and I mean, if the Blazers make adjustments, then Gary Harris is going to be the guy who benefits. If they collapse on Jokic, if they play bigger to keep Plumlee off the boards, that's just going to mean more kickouts, and Gary Harris is going to be their shooting guard who gets most of those minutes, could see most of the shots. So I like plugging him in the third spot. This is going to be more of a blowout build favoring the Nuggets. So that leaves us with 11,000 per player. I'm going to go grab McCollum. Again, I kind of like putting McCollum in that third spot. I'm going to switch it just for now, just because it does seem a lot better. McCollum gets a lot more usage. So I'm going to plug him in that third spot. I just think it's smart. And then we can come back down and put Harris in a utility. And that leaves us 8,500 per player. So in that last utility spot, again, we're already different because, guys, Monte Morris is sitting there at 8,000. I don't know why he still is. Because they dropped Malik Beasley quite a bit after he started not doing as much. So I think you can come down here and get an Evan Turner at min price, a Rodney Hood who we've been playing at min price, or a Zach Collins or Malik Beasley. In this spot, since we're making it more of a Nugget blowout friendly build, I guess I could say, even though we still have McCollum in there, just for points reasons, he's going to be the guy keeping it close, because the way they're going to have a blowout is if Lillard struggles. So we're going to plug Zach Collins in there, who would see more minutes given a blowout, and that leaves us $2,000 remaining salary. And that is a very good thing given this tournament with 35,000 people in it. And those top 4 guys could easily go in order that way. Jokic, Millsap, McCollum, and Harris, and then you need that last guy to fill in. And Zach Collins just has to beat Monte Morris, Malik Beasley, and then all the min price guys in points, which can very easily happen. Let's do one more build here, just because we know CJ McCollum can have games where, I mean, he can have 50 actual point games. So let's plug him in the top spot. Follow him with Jokic in the second spot. And let's put Cantor in the third spot. That leaves us with $8,250 per player. So I'm going to go back down here and grab Millsap. Which leaves us with $6,500 per player. I'm going to plug Hood in that last spot. And we're only leaving $500 salary, but we have CJ McCollum up top, which nobody's going to have. Jokic in the second spot. And we follow it up with 2 great big men in Cantor and Millsap, who can absolutely produce and put up at least 30 points. And Millsap, like I said, is just, I like him a lot more in this matchup. We saw it. We saw how aggressive he was, and he will get more usage. Other than that, Other players you need to throw in there and consider Aminu. You have to consider him just because of the rebounds. I'm not going to play Torrey Craig. Small dosages of Will Barton. Um, Again, Torrey Craig, I'm not playing him, but that doesn't mean it's not a good play. He's going to be very low owned, I'll bet. Evan Turner, Zach Collins, Rodney Hood, and Seth Curry. All 6K. All of them are in play. It's going to be one of them. One of them's going to have points, and I think I like the 6K guys better than the $8,000 and $8,500 guys. So, anyways, keep all that in mind tonight. Another thing you can do is you can put Jokic, Lillard, and McCollum all up there in the 3 spots, and then I think you still have room to fit 2 6K guys in there, or even a 7 and a 6. I don't remember right now, but that'll be a little chalky. So if you want to go that route, make sure you have contrarian 6K players, or at least 2 6K players, because I think most people will grab Rodney Hood and Beasley there. So be a little different from that, and I think you could have success there if all 3 of the top guys do what they're supposed to do. And other than that, I think that's it. Go out there and win the 100K and buy something nice. Anyways, I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Forget what game's tomorrow, but we'll be back to break that one down. Have a good one, win some cash.